or foster candidate.
Today is not a success story, but it is a story that has closure.
Right now at 6, new developments in a string of murders across the valley over the span of 96 hours.
Please know that we share in your pain. We're sorry for your losses. And violence like this in our communities is something that none of us will ever understand.
Detectives say the killer killed himself as police moved in on him at a hotel in Scottsdale this morning.
His name is Dwight Lamont Jones. He's a male, 56 years old.
6 people lost their lives over 4 days. First, a well-known Valley doctor shot and killed outside of his office building Thursday.
When the officers arrived, they found a female subject who had been shot in the head. We do not believe this is a random incident, but we don't know the further involvement of the suspects.
The next day, 2 women shot to death at a firm and a life coach found dead in his office the next morning.
It's creepy, you know, that someone was out there taking lives like that.
Yesterday, another murder. A husband and wife found dead inside of their home in Fountain Hills.
It's unfortunate and a broken heart we weren't able to save lives, although the conclusion likely saved lives of those that this person intended on harming.
Tonight, our entire newsroom is looking at every angle of this big story.
Happening right now at 6, police are revealing today how these murders are linked. These are the victims tonight. Forensics doctor, psychiatrist, Dr. Stephen Pitt, paralegals Laura Anderson and Valeria Sharp.
And that's on the end, life coach Marshall Levine. And then there was a couple in Fountain Hills. We have a team of reporters right now covering every angle of this complex case. And we begin with Jared Dillingham, who has breaking details from police. Jared.
Nicole, federal and local investigators gathered here at the Scottsdale Police Department late today to discuss the very complicated details surrounding this shooting spree. They do all agree the motive here seems to be revenge, some anger over a divorce case from 9 years ago. But what specifically set this suspect off a couple days ago, that is still very unclear. Investigators tracked the suspect, 56-year-old Dwight Jones, to an extended stay hotel in Scottsdale. They'd cleared 2 floors of other guests when their suspect apparently realized what was going on. They say he fired 7 or 8 times at them and then ultimately killed himself. As for his victims, police say as part of the old divorce case from years ago, Jones was sent to see psychiatrist Dr. Stephen Pitt, who became his first victim. His son was also sent to see another mental health professional who was not shot, but another man, Dr. Marshall Levine, who was leasing the old office space, was shot. The 2 paralegals, Valeria Sharp and Laura Anderson, simply worked in the office of the attorney who handled the divorce. Police have not said how Jones is linked to the 2 victims found in Fountain Hills, but they hope the killing spree ended there.
That's one of our biggest concerns. We don't have any evidence of any additional victims right now. Anyone that we think would have been tied to them based on this divorce settlement or any of the other intelligence we've been analyzing, we have spoken with. They're safe.
Late today, the suspect's ex-wife released a statement in part to send her condolences to all the victims' families. In that statement, she also said she and her current husband actually suspected Dwight Jones might be involved. They are the ones who tipped off police. Live at Scottsdale Police Headquarters, I'm Jared Dillingham for Arizona's Family.
All right, Jared, thank you. A local attorney says she started a GoFundMe page for the 2 paralegals, Laura Anderson and Valeria Sharp. Here's a look at that page. She says all the proceeds will go to their families. That link is up right now on our AZ Family News app. The last 2 victims, a husband and a wife, they were found shot to death in their Fountain Hills home. Police saw Jones driving in that area, even watched him throw something away in a trash bin. Turned out to be the gun that was owned by the man who was killed. Deputies went to check on that couple and found them shot to death.
It's just that the everyday high wave, this, that, you know, it made it a stronger neighbor relationship, you know. So they were good. They were good people.
So as of right now, still unclear why Jones went after these two people. Their names not being released tonight until police notify their families.
As you can imagine, it was a very chaotic scene when this came to an end at this extended stay hotel this morning. We talked with one man whose room was right next door to the suspect's car. He said it was all pretty eerie.
One of the guests, he was 2 rooms down from where the suspect was staying, and he said that the police banged on his door and said, "Get out, get out." They had shields on, and told him get down, and because there was gunshots.
That was Brian Kogel. He also sent us these pictures. He said detectives did some sort of controlled explosion on the suspect's car to make sure it was safe to search. Detectives say they will be out there through the night.
So tonight we're now getting a look at the disturbing, the violent past of Dwight Jones and his links to the victims.
Dennis Welch has been digging into his background and joins us live in the newsroom. This was going on for years, Dennis.
Yeah, and we spent hours pouring through court records just like this, and they do paint a picture of a man with a long history of violence and mental health issues. These documents also show that Jones's ex-wife, who filed for divorce back in 2009 because she feared for her safety and the safety of her only child.
Over his 20-year marriage, Dwight Jones was accused of physically abusing his wife, Connie Jones, countless times, including one incident back in 2007 where he fractured her sternum. This, according to the couple's divorce records. The breaking point appeared to come a couple years later, back in 2009, when Jones attacked his then-wife in front of their young child, backing the mother into a wall, pushing and hitting her in the face with his forearm. That night, according to court records, Jones also threatened to kill his wife, saying police would find her at the bottom of the pool. The incident prompted the courts to grant the wife an order of protection against her husband. It was during the extensive divorce proceedings when Dwight Jones met the first victim of the Scottsdale killing spree, the renowned forensic psychiatrist Stephen Pitt. After evaluating Jones, Pitt testified in the Jones divorce case that the father has anxiety disorder, mood disorder, and features of an antisocial, narcissistic, and paranoid personality. Pitt also testified that Dwight Jones poses a high risk to perpetrate violence toward mother, the minor child, and or himself. The court eventually granted the divorce in November 2010, but the ex-wife never felt secure. According to court records, she renewed the order of protection for several years after the divorce was granted, an order that prevented him from getting near her and from possessing a gun.
And these records also show that Jones was put into an institution for a psychiatric evaluation and was against his will. In the newsroom, Dennis Welch for Arizona's Family.
All right, Dennis, as always, thank you. You can count on us to stay on top of this developing story. We have several crews on every angle tonight. For the latest, be sure to download our AZ Family News app, and there you can find everything that we know about the suspect and the victims. We also have a timeline for this 4-day killing spree. In other developing news, right now at 6, we have new information on a body that was found Saturday near Glendale and the 303. MCSO says the victim was 56-year-old Tim Harnack. Officers found him wrapped up in a blanket in the middle of a cornfield. Right now, we still don't know how he got there. Anyone with information should call the sheriff's office.
And another update to bring you now. Police have made an arrest in a murder in Mesa. Detectives say Dwayne Ward stabbed a man in a fight Friday. Police say that man was able to get help and make it to the hospital, where he later died. It happened near Broadway and Stapley. Ward's charged now with second-degree murder.
A man is in the hospital at this hour after being run over by an ambulance. It happened at a fire station near 15th Avenue in Roosevelt. Investigators say they opened the bay doors to leave the station, and apparently they felt a thump in the driveway. They saw the man, who is now in critical condition. It is still unclear why that person was outside of the fire station, but we're waiting to get more information, more details on this accident.
Right now, a new wildfire is forcing evacuations in the Winslow area. The Highway 377 fire has burned 300 acres. It was caused by a trailer dragging a tailgate, and it caused sparks to fly. Power is also out in the Heber-Overgard area. So state road crews have shut down a stretch of State Route 277 and 377 as crews work to get the upper hand.
And right now, staying on top of developing news, and that's the wildfire that is burning right now at this hour in New Mexico. The good news tonight, people who were forced to leave everything behind now finally being allowed to go back home tonight. The U-Part fire, it broke out on Thursday, and right now it's grown to over 36,000 acres. But thanks to some rain over the weekend, crews there starting to get the fire under control. As for what caused it, that is still being investigated tonight. And check out this video. You can see flames and smoke on the side of the road as a car drives through it. Absolutely incredible video tonight. And check out these aerials. Tons of black smoke. You can see workers trying to get a handle on this massive fire. Coming up tonight here on the news at 6, the Arizona State Fair reveals some of the big acts appearing this year. Who's going to perform? Details just minutes away.
Well, a milestone every year, 110 in the Valley today. But a break in the heat for the next couple of days. We'll talk about that.